Alright, so I'm back with another reaction, man. We need to talk, man. Y'all know this is one of my favorite channels, man. And I ain't seen this clip yet, so I'm gonna be blind reacting to this joint, man. So let's get straight into it.
Oh, I'm not one to have the whole this ain't shit perspective 100% because people aren't shit. You deal with both sides every day. I've dated both sides. People aren't shit. Women lean towards that men ain't shit, this ain't shit, because it gives them an excuse to not live up to their full potential as a woman.
That's a fact.
Listen, it's the message right here. Black boy, tell
That's
me
a
how you really
fact.
feel. Cause I just wanna build with you. Black girl, tell me how you really feel. I wanna keep it real with you. I wanna live better, eat better. I wanna love better, sleep better. Yeah, I wanna feel so aligned.
Are you familiar with Shahrazad Ali?
No.
So Shahrazad Ali in 1989, she wrote a book called Black Man's Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. She got a bunch of backlash. She was going on talk shows. I think she was on the Donahue show, which was pretty much like the Oprah Winfrey show at that time. And one of the audience members stood up and was like, I'm a Yoruba priestess and what you're doing is evil and you're sowing discourse in our community. She was talking to Shahrazad Ali. Do you know who that lady was? It was Iyanla Vanzant. It was Iyanla Vanzant. So like to go from that to now talking about black women are out of order, there has been a shift because Shahrazad was saying that in 1989. Right. So the book was about some of the reasons why black women are out of order. Now, when you read the book, at least from a male perspective, she could have wrote that yesterday. She could have wrote that 2 weeks ago. Like, it is that relevant. She's talking about the over-sexualization of black women, how they do it to themselves. She's talking about how they've been essentially raised to inherently disrespect the black man, and how we as black people have only interrogated black men, but we haven't actually ever interrogated black women outside of their physical appearance. So why do you think it is so hard to critique black women? It was hard in 1989. It's definitely harder now. Why do you think that is?
I feel it's harder because black women have had to be the ones who took on the role of being the head of the black family in more situations than not. Like back in the day, the man was the head, but somewhere along the line that shit happened, and not just because of the fact that black men don't want to be a part of families, because they've been, like, I believe that black families as a whole have been generationally broken apart, whether it be by system, institutionalization, prisons, breaking down, and even sometimes, which is hard to admit, by us women, we have taken their power and put it all to ourselves. Sometimes because we had to, and once you've had to do that, all you know is to teach your other children, mainly your women, to make sure you're prepared to be the head, because there may not be a head in the traditional sense of being a man. So we've had to own that power and become the head, and in that sense, don't nobody tell Big Mama no. You know, you don't get what Mama said goes. You know, you ask your daddy, what'd your mama say? Those type of situations. So whether it be overt or underhanded, there's been a shift in the power of the family.
I want to speak on something right quick, you know what I'm saying? Because we talked about the critiquing part, you know what I'm saying? And she brought up the fact that black women don't receive critique well because they had to assume the role of being the head. And she, you know what I'm saying, she gave up reasons on why, you know what I'm saying, and some of that is they choose to be the head. Some of that is, you know what I'm saying, the man was going to prison, the drugs and all that. But this the problem with that, you know what I'm saying? If you claim that if black women claim to have taking the role of being the head gets the most critique. And like, that's why women have been kind of placed in that head role. But I really wouldn't even say they really the head, you know what I'm saying? I would really say that society and the white man is the head in that situation, because in today's society, when you critique a black woman, you know what I'm saying, 9 times out of 10, she put the blame on society and the people that's not in the situation. She'll talk about society, she'll talk about the white man, she'll talk about the black man that's not there, instead of being able to take that critique. So in most cases, black women aren't really the head in these situations. They just, in that household, they might be the one at the top of the chain, but the instructions in that household, it comes from somewhere. I mean, it might be hard to hear, but black women ain't never been the head. That white man been in the head in these situations. It is what it is. It is what it is. That's why a lot of black women in today, they like to say a lot of the white man's talking points when they talking about us. It is what it is. So if, to the sister, if you want to say that black women are taking on the role of being the head, that comes with a lot of critique. That's going back to the Bible as well. The people that was at the top, they got the heaviest. They got the heaviest charges. It is what it is. It is what it is. That's why I tell you in the scriptures, don't be fighting to get to the top. You're going to get judged way more harsh. But not in the black community though, obviously.
Because in biblical sense, the man is the head. But again, our families have been torn down, broken apart for so many years, where we've had to create a new sense of who's the head. And you don't want to break your mama down. She's seen enough. From my own personal perspective, I was raised by a single mother, working multiple jobs to take care of me, my brothers, and whoever else she could take in, part of my family and friends. So I'm not trying to burden that woman with any additional problems. And anybody coming to her, men mainly, you want to date my mama, you got to go through me and my brothers. And that's intimidating, and it can be a bit much. But again, who's going against the woman that's holding the family down? Who's trying to do that? Whether it's fair or not, no. But it's where we are.
So, for me, I always start the conversation on white supremacy as far as the breakdown of the black family. And then after that, I go to the black man. These are the ways that we assisted white supremacy to break down the black family. And I think we're hyper aware of that as a society. So my question is, what are the ways women are willing to own as to how women assisted white supremacy to break down the black family? It's not an easy question.
That's not an easy question, because women are often on the front lines of trying to protect the black man.
Maybe she'll give a little background on why she said that. Maybe
The ones that are going, I guess, thinking along those lines, here we go. So while we're the ones that are on the front lines, a lot of times we throw that in their faces. We know that they have had a disadvantage, and sometimes we don't respect or recognize it enough. While, again, I guess playing devil's advocate, a lot of men rest on that. Like, oh man, the man hold me down and the man won't let me do this and that. So, as a woman, you take up that power shit.
by the way, That's a white man's talking point, by the way.
And you make sugar with it. Like, you have to understand, like, okay, even if it's playing on the man's sympathies or them playing on yours, and be like, okay, so they have it harder, so let me help them with this. Or women that have had to choose between the black man and their children, they're gonna choose their children every time. So those YT people have made it to a point where it's easier for the black woman to placate into their ways and methods rather than stand boldly beside the black man and just be like, I'm standing beside you no matter what. Instead of having that unconditional, there's conditions on it. Which, damn, thinking about it, that shit sucks. But it's where we are. Like, it's like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Sometimes as a woman.
Which paint them out to be the victim because you damned if you do and damned if you don't. She didn't give a way that black women aid in white supremacy. Did anybody notice that? She kind of started slowly giving black women praise, slowly started talking about some of the things that black women might have to deal with in these different situations. Yeah.
You want to support this man, stick beside him no matter what. I be like, man, fuck him. I got my children. I got my own stuff to do. I'm bearing the weight on my own. I can do better by myself, those type of things. So,
in a lot of the conversations I've had with women, there tends to be a reflex to almost excuse women. So it's like, yeah, this thing she did was kind of fucked up, but ...
Right.
It wasn't there, this and that.
Right.
But black men don't get that same grace oftentimes.
That's a fact.
That conversation ends with niggas ain't shit.
That's a fact.
Period, point blank, period.
See, I'm not one to have the whole niggas ain't shit perspective 100% because people aren't shit. You deal with both sides every day. I've dated both sides. People aren't shit. It's easier to go towards the gender because rather than you having to accept and deal with the fact that sometimes you're the problem, you can just put it on that blanket statement and it absolves you. Everybody's gonna be like, oh yeah, that's right.
Also, kind of pay attention to the fact that she really didn't answer that question either. That's not what he asked you, sis. The question was along the lines of when women are being critiqued, they get a but this isn't this. These things happen in her life. This is why she turned out like that. But when men come up, when you get those critiques, those are not. You're not giving those outs to say, oh, this is why he's a bad person. You took that question and said, oh, people ain't shit. Sis, that ain't what he asked you. He asked you about why don't men get that same grace? Because they're being raised in these same environments. Come on, sis.
You know, they ain't no good. No, people aren't shit. But sometimes we as women are the problem. I will 100% admit sometimes it's us. Because, again, I was raised to be independent. And in that independence, I found that I wasn't allowing another person, whether it be a man or a woman, to love me or do for me like they wanted to, or they were raised to, or they expected to in those roles or whatever. Because to me, I can do it all by myself. I don't need nobody. I got me, that type of situation. But when you're doing those things and when you're claiming you got it all, you can do it all, you're perfect, you don't have any problems, you're lying to yourself, first of all. And you're shutting out people that can truly be there for you in ways that you can't be there for yourself. Do things that you can't do for yourself. But you're so stuck on, I'm independent, I'm strong, I got it all, I have to do it all. You miss it.
Right.
And I think truly and honestly, a lot of times now, women lean towards that men ain't shit, niggas ain't shit, because it gives them an excuse to not live up to their full potential as a woman, but be excused when a man can't fit into the box that they want him to.
Ooh, shit. All right, sis. Now, women probably ain't gonna fuck with what she just said, but it's a lot of truth to what she just said. Because I do feel like that's why a lot of women jump into that bag of being super independent, honestly, because they can't fit with a man. Because it's gonna be some, if you get a man that you actually wanna be with, 9 times out of 10, he gonna require you to make some changes. It is what it is. That's just what it is in relationships. You know what I'm saying? Most women, when they get into relationships with men, the more time you spend around that man, you're gonna start becoming him. It is what it is. You're gonna be a mini version of him. It is what it is. So most women don't want to do that. They want that man to become the mini version of them, or the big version of her, the more physically capable version of her. But most women don't want to do that. So they'll kind of lean on these different little sayings and tropes to being strong, independent, and all this. But a lot of people don't. It's like, for some reason in the black community, it's like we act like we don't need each other. Black men need black women. It is what it is. Black women need black men. It is what it is. We need each other, and we act like we don't. And we're going to continue to fail as long as we think like that. We're going to continue to fail as long as we keep moving like we don't care about each other. It is what it is. The ones that's willing to do what need to be done to get the shit done, they need to come together. Because a lot of these conversations about you need to do this and you need to do that, fuck all that. Everybody that's willing to do what they need to do, they need to come together, man, and just leave everybody else, leave the rebels out, and let them fend for themselves. It is what it is. Let them argue and bicker while we build a nation on our own, man. It is what it is. But I'm gonna stop the clip right there, man. The sister got some sense though. I'm not gonna say she ain't got no sense. She speak very well, but I don't think at certain time, I don't think she understand that she not answering that brother question. I don't think she understand it. And it's kind of go back into this clip that I just reacted to on the people that's talk. Sometimes when women are asked questions about women, they struggle to answer them questions because it's almost like they know they're gonna get their ass attacked if they answer them things properly. Women are not cool with women going off code. It is what it is. So it's like they got to pick and choose, or whenever it's something that's specifically talking about the women, they gotta bring everybody into it when that ain't what you was asked. But you know, it is what it is. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. I'm out.